Hello everyone, welcome back to Sujit Analytics. This is a continuation of SQL tutorials for beginners. In this tutorial, I'm going to explain keys in SQL. Before going to today's topic, I want you to know why is what happens when we don't have with keys defined on the tables or columns. So what happens if we don't define keys on the tables? First cause would be data redundancy. Means duplicated data stored in the tables. So unnecessary data will be stored in the tables. Suppose one customer record is shifted multiple times, which improves storage. So data is redundant. We have high data storage. That is one disadvantage. And no unique identification. If you don't have keys defined on the columns, a row does not identify unique. Suppose if we assign same ID to the different customers, so we cannot uniquely identify different customers. So here each customer loses his identity and no data integrity follows. Data is not consistent and integrated. And no proper relationship between the tables. If you don't define foreign keys. So these are the main causes if we don't have keys on the tables. Data will be redundant and no unique identification and data integrity is not possible and no proper relationship between the tables. Now let's go to the topic. Keys. So here keys are used to ensure data is unique and maintains relationship between the tables. These are used to ensure data is unique and maintains relationship between the tables. So what happens if you don't have relationship between the tables? Don't have a relationship between the tables, there is no data integrity. So keys is concerned, there are mainly three keys in SQL. First one is unique key, primary key, and foreign key. Unique key is concerned, let's understand each key. Unique key ensures the values in a column should be unique. It ensures the values in a column should be unique. Means whatever the data we are inserting into the tables, each value should be unique. Means that no duplicate value should be allowed. Coming to primary key, I will explain with practical examples at the end of this video. First, we understand the definitions. And coming to primary key also used to ensures The values in a column should be unique and not null. Primary key includes the values in a column should be unique and not null. So whatever the values we are inserting, the value should be unique, should be different from others, and also value should not be null. But for unique key, it can allow null values because two null values are different. That's why unique key allows null values. Those null values, and we can define any number of unique keys. But for primary key, we can only define one primary key per table. Only one primary key per table. Only one primary key in a table. But we can use combination of columns. We can use two columns as a primary. And coming to foreign key. So foreign key is used to maintain relationship with the tables. To maintain relationship between the tables. Means it maintains child and parent relationship. Parent relationship. So this foreign key is used to maintain relationship with the tables. By following this, by defining foreign keys on the tables, the difference is the values from the other tables. Means the difference is the primary key from the parent table. Difference is primary key values from parent table. Means what all the values are present in the primary key table, that values only should be present in this foreign key table. That is parent-child relationship. So let's define the unique key and primary key on a table, and let's understand with examples. Suppose I want to create a table which is students. You know that the syntax for creating table is create table. Table name would be students. I want to give student ID. Column name. Data type I'm giving int. I'm giving defining primary. So the student ID should be unique. Every student ID should be unique and no null value should be allowed. The student name. I'm giving data type varchar. And I want to give age. Giving int. And I'm giving other other number which is unique. Means every student other number should be unique. Giving data type giving int. This I'm defining primary key and unique key on this table. Execute it. I say name student. Okay, let's drop the table because the table is already present in the database. That's why we are not able to create the table. Drop the table first. Successfully completed. Run this query. The table is created. Now let's insert some rows into this table. Insert into students table because I wanted to insert the so I want to insert data into students table. So I'm inserting data into all the columns. I don't need to specify the column names. I'm directly inserting. The student ID would be first one is 1 and the name is John and the age is I'm giving 20. Giving other number and giving some random number. I'm inserting automatic order, automatic error converting expression to data type. Mm, So we can change the data type of other number. This is data type. So, friends, column, the number, yeah, I'm giving capital. First, we can in other number we have only two characters. That's why I'm defining data type. That's two. Table order from other of field because one or more objects exit this column. Because one or more objects exit this. This other number we have the uniquely defined. That's why we are not able to change data type. So let's give some random number instead of full other number. One row affected. Now I'm trying to insert the same row again. Now we are able to see a violation of primary key constraint. PK students, last for students, the primary key constraint name cannot insert duplicate key in object behavior dot students. The duplicate value is 1 because we already inserted student ID 1 into the table. So when you define primary key, it does not allow the same student again. So this is the function of primary. Suppose if we change the ID and also change the name, like in the age, we insert, we are able to see again the error because it's a violation of key constraint. Because we, on this other number column, we defined unique key constraint. So this other number, every other student of other number should be unique. Some other number. This is now one row effective. Let's query from the table. Now see we are able to see two students, John and Mike. This is about primary key and foreign. Primary key and unique. Unique key ensures the value should be unique. And we can also insert null values. Null values in unique. Change the name of execute it. So here unique can accept this null value because unique ensures that value should be unique. So null value does not match with any value. That's why we are able to insert. But we are in when we use null for the primary key column, which is student ID, does not accept because cannot insert the value null into the column student ID because on the column we define primary key. Primary key ensures the value should be unique and not null. This is about primary key and unique. Let's understand what is a foreign key with example. Further, we have to create separate table. We cannot define on the same table to maintain relationship. Create table, um, students table. Let's create courses table. Student ID. We must give course ID. We can define it. It should be primary. Course ID name, hierarchy, data type, and the student ID. On the student ID, I can define the foreign key. I am defining foreign key because I want to ensure that whatever the values present in this students table, the same students table should be stored in the course table. I'm giving int student ID int foreign key references. Now to be the references. References table would be students because we're referencing students table and the column would be student ID. We are defining foreign key on this table, on this student ID. This student ID reference from students table of student ID. If we execute it, command complete successfully. Means that now the two tables maintains relationship, primary key and foreign key. Now let's insert some values into these tables. This course table. Insert into courses. So I'm inserting all the values. I don't need to specify the columns. Values. First the column would be course ID. I'm giving course ID as 201. And the course name is I'm giving DA. The student is I'm giving 1. Student ID. 1 row effective. Sorry. Let to start from courses. This is the way of querying the data from tables. Now C201 course is inserted into this course table. 201 name DA, student ID is 1. Just insert some other student record, which is 3. Giving course ID 3, the value is DS. If I execute it, 1 row affected. Student ID 3. Okay, I think student ID 3 is present in the students table. Once there, let's insert some other 204. Here we don't need to define the primary key on this course ID column because uh, many students, different students can enroll into same courses. So I define primary key. In this scenario, we don't need to specify the primary key for this course ID column because many students can enroll into same course. So the course ID won't be unique. Again, 04. Now, as of now, I'm giving unique one. If I execute it, the insert statement completed with the foreign key constraint. This is the foreign key. The complete upper in the database. In the database, what is DB table students column student ID. Statement has been terminated because we are trying to insert a student's record which is not there in the students table. The student ID is referencing from the students table, but the student ID is not there in the students table. That's why we are not able to insert. So that is the function of foreign key. It ensures whatever the values present in the primary key table, only that value should be present in the foreign key table. And that is what is differential integrity. Now we can insert another student, which is 2. Now we are able to insert because student who is already present in the student's table. There is no conflict. So this is about foreign key. So these are the keys in SQL: unique, foreign key, and primary key. And that's all. I hope you understand. If you believe you learned something today, don't forget to give a like and share it with your friends who are learning SQL. And if you have any doubts, write comments in the chat. I'll make sure to read and give response to you. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Sujit Analytics, to stay upgraded with my latest tutorials. That's all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.